Are you purchasing or refinancing a home? Do you need a free same-day pre-approval? Then call Dean Scaduto from Coldwell Banker Home Loans at 201-322-3456. That's 201-322-3456. The New Jersey Real Estate Show is brought to you by the law offices of Joseph C. Petriello, located in Wayne, New Jersey. To contact them, call 973-890-7262. That's 973-890-7262.
Welcome to the New Jersey Real Estate Show. Now, here are your hosts, Tim Waller and Matt Josephs.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the New Jersey Real Estate Show. I'm Matt Josephs, the co-host of the great Tim Waller, who will be our host. In this episode, we're just kind of introducing you to Tim, kind of giving you his life story and his bona fides and letting you know why he is the expert that he is. Tim, welcome to your show.
Oh, thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate that.
Sure. Tim, let's go back to your youth. You've been, you've been in real estate for what, 32 years?
32 years.
And you're only 28, so that's impressive. It's very impressive.
I came out of the delivery room as a listing agent, right?
No, so you're, and I should also, I'm sorry, forgive me. Other voice you hear is Pete. He's my partner in the New Jersey podcast, guys, and also he's our engineer today.
That's right.
Our producer engineer.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to you, Peter. Welcome to you.
Hello, Peter.
Hi, Tim.
So anyway, you get out of high school.
Yes.
What's the first thing you do?
Well, the first thing I did is I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps.
Oh, well, thank you for your service.
And that's where it all began.
Okay. And I see you got this tattoo on your arm here. It says USMC.
Yes, it can also stand for Uncle Sam's Misguided Children, as many people will say.
Right.
I have a Marine history in my family. My father served in World War II. My uncle served in World War II with Chesty Puller on Guadalcanal.
Uh-huh.
And my father served with VMF 214, the Black Sheep Squad, with famous Pappy Boynton.
Okay. And
so it was in my blood.
And so you were in, that would be the Vietnam era.
No, I actually missed
after.
it.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
So you were after.
They came out in 1975. I left for Parris Island January 4th of 1976.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're not that old that you would be in Vietnam. Forgive me.
You're so kind, Matt.
I'm just doing the math. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. All right, so you go to Parris Island, and how exciting was the Marines? What did you do in the Marines exactly?
Well, I was in the infantry. My MOS was 0311, which is infantry, or another word for that is grunt. They're the ground pounders.
Sure.
I spent a year overseas in Okinawa, and I took what they would refer to as a float and visited the South Pacific.
Okay.
Went to Guam, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, Tokyo, climbed Mount Fuji, and
Nice.
that was a chore in of itself.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And actually, I have a great respect for Mother Nature, and I'll tell you why. We were en route to Hong Kong, and we were on an LST, which is a transport ship.
Okay.
Which means the hull is more flat bottom because that's where the Amtraks are stored, and that's where all the vehicles and equipment are stored. And we ran smack dead into a typhoon. And when I tell you, I thought I was going to be shark food, but we survived.
Yeah.
And with that, I have a great respect for Mother Nature.
Because she's stronger than any of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't imagine what that's like being tossed around like that.
It was scary. They secured the Chow Hall for 3 full days. No one can get out of their wrecks.
Really?
And the Marines are all the way down in the bottom, and you'd hear the water beating against the hulls, and you're just saying, okay, all night you hear the captain say, stand by for heavy swells, because they have to navigate that ship and try to take that swell a certain way.
Right.
Otherwise, we could have became like the Poseidon Adventure.
Right.
But in any event, so as a young Marine many years ago, I served my country with what they call honor, courage, and commitment.
Okay,
and
good.
in those 4 years, really paved the way and kind of transformed who I am today.
And then so you come out of the Marines, and did you get right into real estate then?
No.
Oh.
I decided I was going to be an electrician.
Okay.
So I became an electrician's apprentice, making $4 an hour.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Wow.
But I was always fascinated with real estate. So I decided one day I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to real estate school, get my real estate license.
So now how long after you were an apprentice?
It was almost 4 years.
Okay, so you did that for 4 years, and then you
Correct.
said, I'm going to get into real estate.
That's correct.
Okay, so you start with real estate.
Yep, and at lunch hour, everybody would be sitting around, and I'd be studying my real estate book. So my boss came over to me, and he said, hey, Tim, do you want to be a jack of all trades, or do you want to be a tradesman? We're a master of what you do. So I'd really like to be a master of what I do. I said, but can I let you know in like maybe 6 months to a year what that decision is? And he agreed to it.
Okay.
And eventually I started real estate part-time. I'd finish my electrical job about 4:30. I'd get in the real estate office about 5:30, work till 9:30 at night, Saturdays and Sundays. And when I started making more money in real estate doing it part-time, that's when I decided to make the transition.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you start, was it easy at first, or is it a hard thing to start in?
It's difficult because you have to be self-motivating. I started off with absolutely no clients, and I remember when I went to my first real estate office, they gave me a desk. They gave me what's called a reverse directory. They said, here's the book, start calling people, have a great day.
You're on your own.
And I said, wow.
And that's all commission, right?
It's all commission.
Yeah.
No salary.
Are there any agencies that start with a salary or anything? Is it
No,
everywhere you go?
back in the day, there were agencies that would pay you a draw,
Okay.
which meant they would advance your commissions.
Right.
And
then take it
correct.
off your commission.
That's correct.
Right.
Yep. So what happened was I got licensed in 84. I worked for a company for about a year and a half. I got burnt out, and then I went into the title business, which is in the family of real estate.
Okay. Now, for people who are, say, first-time home buyers or whatever, title business is what?
Title insurance.
Okay.
And title insurance, you need that protects you from faulty title. In other words, Matt, you buy Peter's house. Peter sells you his house. You have to get title insurance. That title insurance protects you for as long as you own the home. That no one can come and say, Matt, you don't own that house. I do.
Okay, because Pete had some bad debt or something like that.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So I did that for a few years, and then back in 1987, I came back into the real estate business, and the gentleman that I went to work for, he agreed to pay me a $500 a week draw, which back in 1986 was unheard of. And I remember there wasn't a homeowner from Secaucus up to Hardyston that didn't know who I was if they were trying to sell their house on their own.
Now, and why? What did you do?
My motivation was every week that went by, I was going $500 in debt.
Man.
So I needed to sell. And my business philosophy always was provide extraordinary service each and every time, and you'll get personal referrals. And basically, real estate is built on personal referrals.
Right. So so here we are 32 years later since you started in real estate.
Oh, many things have changed, Matt.
What has changed?
And I'll tell you what's changed. Back in the day, there was no computer. There was no internet.
So what did you do? How did you...
Every week, realtors would get the multiple listing book that had all the new inventory
the
in it.
MLS.
And buyers would do anything to get their hands on that book. So you had control.
Right.
Whereas today, with the Zillows, the Trulias, the Realtor.coms of the world, information flows so freely.
They come to you saying, I want to look at this house.
That's correct.
Okay. And so...
So you no longer have the inventory, the control over the inventory.
Right.
It's out there for everybody to see.
Okay, so they come to you. How big of a... I mean, I know that's a big change, but does that hurt you in any way? Like, how big of a change was it for you?
Well, it's
for
like
realtors in general.
It's like anything. When change faces you, it takes people out of their level of comfort, and you have to make a decision. I'm either going to adapt, react, and overcome, or I'm going to shrivel up and fade away and blow away in the wind.
So your training with the Marines has helped you to survive in this business.
That's correct, Matt. I'll never forget the story. We were in Camp Pendleton before I left for overseas, and we were climbing those steep mountains in California. And you got your big knapsack on, and you're weighted down. You got your rifle, and you're climbing up these hills, and it's hot out. And There was this one Marine that said, I can't go any further. And the instructor came and said, Marine, if you stop here, the next time we come up this hill, you'll never make it as far as you got today.
Got to push yourself.
And the Marine chose to sit there, and he quit and surrendered his ID, so he couldn't go on liberty that weekend. But sure enough, when we came to that mountain again, that same Marine never made it that far.
Really?
It's always stuck with me.
Okay.
That once you quit, quitting gets easier.
Yeah.
And it can't be in your vocabulary. There's always a way.
Yeah.
That's like when people say it's impossible. Well, the word impossible is possible.
Oh, all right. All you need is that apostrophe.
That's correct.
Well, now, one of the other, I guess, adaptations that you've had to make and all realtors need to make is that, now with the computer age, besides the MLS not being a book that you have that people come to you for, the internet is also how you get yourself out there. I mean, we're doing a podcast right now.
That's correct.
This is an essential part of anybody who takes their marketing and their branding seriously, as you do, because you also do videos that you produce yourself.
And it's funny because when I first started that, people would laugh at me saying, "What are you doing? Mm-hmm. You got to be kidding me."
Are those the dinosaurs of the business?
My two sons, who were both in investment banking, they said, "Dad, come on, what are you doing?"
Oh, that your sons were saying this? Okay.
They were my biggest critic. And I
What,
said,
because they were embarrassed because Dad's making videos?
I said, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I kept at it, and I'm going to tell you, my business has increased since doing those videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe it. I have had that conversation on Matt the Feedy show.
Right.
That video's here. It's here now. It's not in the future.
Absolutely.
It's here now. Get used to it, and this is what the consumer's looking for.
Yeah.
I've heard, you were talking about Trulia and Zillow and Realtor.com. They say that YouTube is the #1 site for real estate searches. I mean, that's for millennials.
Right.
For the up-and-coming generation, YouTube's the #1 site because people, they want to see video.
And eventually, all those millennials are going to be buyers.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So whoever discounts them is making a huge mistake.
Of course. And I tell people, because I do video, and I tell people, business owners all the time, you the people that you need now are millennials, because the ones that have jobs have disposable income.
That's
because
correct.
they don't have families yet. They're still having fun, and they're the ones who are going to spend their money, but they're not going to read any publication that you would have an ad in the back of. That's for old people.
Nope.
And they're going to listen to podcasts. They're going to watch videos on YouTube. I don't mean to say that they're all lazy, but it's just that they learn a different way.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
different ways
way of life. It's a different way of communication for them.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I go out to dinner. We'll see millenniums sitting at the dinner table, but instead of conversing, they're
on their
texting.
phone. Yeah,
Right.
I know. Taking pictures of their food.
But that's what it is. It's Instagram. It's Facebook. It's YouTube. YouTube's huge.
Yeah. Oh, it's enormous.
But I mean, even having 26 pictures of a house, even if it's not a video, just a picture. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and we moved, you looked at, you got a single picture of the outside of the house. If you wanted to see the inside of the house, you had to call the realtor. They had to get the code for the lockbox, and that's how you saw the house. Now you have 50, 60 pictures of every single nook and cranny of the house, and every single room. It's a different.
But you're right with pictures, but pictures need to be done by professionals.
Right.
Well, that's what I was going to say is to all the realtors out there that think using their iPhone is a good enough way to... Now, for videos, it's good. But to take a picture of a room in a house that you're selling, I mean, especially if it's not a nice house with a lot of natural light, and it's just your typical, 2 or 3 bedroom little ranch or whatever... They're very dark as far as natural light goes, and they're not particularly attractive because, the people that are selling it have been in there since 1968, and they just died. The last one of them died. It's dingy, it's dark. The best way to do it is to get a professional.
I'll give you an example, Matt. There was a home that had expired, and the first thing I went in, I told the homeowner, I said, look, not for anything, I'm sure the realtor tried to do a really good job, but these pictures are horrible.
Yeah.
Your home is much nicer than this.
Right.
And buyers come to look at a home for one reason, well, actually two reasons. The quality of the photographs that they see and the story that was created about the home. That's what motivates a buyer to come out and take a look at the home.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your pictures are horrible.
Yeah.
And here's what I plan on doing. The photographer I use is won for the third year in a row, best real estate photographer in New Jersey. We repackaged the whole home, uploaded all the photos. They sold within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it absolutely
Makes a
helps,
big
especially
difference.
because these people that are selling the house because they're retiring and they're moving down to Florida or Tom's River or wherever, who's going to be buying that house? It's somebody young who's used to doing everything on the internet and looking at good quality pictures of whatever it is, or so you gotta know your audience, right? And it's
You're correct.
It's frustrating,
and that's where real estate has changed. And I think a lot of people miss the boat because everybody's too busy about, or realtors, I should say, about how great they are, all the achievements they made. Well, the consumer doesn't want to hear that. The consumer wants to know, what are you going to do for me?
right.
What's in it for me?
I mean, I'm sure that helps to know, what a
absolutely.
success you are as a realtor. But at the end of the day, like, exactly, what are you going to do for me? And can you just get me into a damn house?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Well, and it's not just. I think it's a comfort factor. It's a trust factor.
Correct.
That you just want to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that plays a big part in all these different marketing avenues that we do. You're not branding your business. You're branding yourself.
Right.
As
That's
someone that
correct.
you can trust.
And you're not going to do business with someone that you neither like or trust. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Exactly.
You're not going to do it.
Or frankly, especially I think with these millennials, not someone who bores them. They're not going to.
Their retention, their retention period is very slim. So if you don't capture them, it's almost like that shock value.
Yeah.
They need that shock value.
Yeah. Not that they're horrible people. It's just they're different. That's
Right.
what we're saying. We're not being old fuddy-duddies and.
Right. But in future episodes, when we actually get into like first-time home buying seminars and you actually see what's involved, because a lot of times poor buyers out there, they'll call someone and the realtor will say, yeah, I'll get back to you. They never hear from them again. So it's the follow-up in this business that, and don't get me wrong, you have good, bad, and indifferent in every profession.
Sure.
But when a consumer calls and says, I need this or I want this, and you say you're going to do that for them, by God, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Even if you have nothing to say. I try to return all my phone calls, even if I don't have any new news to give. I want to give them the courtesy that, yes, I'm still thinking about you, I'm on the job, but I just don't have any new news to report.
So what is, and the other thing too is, if you don't follow up, if you don't jump on that customer or client or whatever, somebody else is going to.
Absolutely.
They're going to get impatient. They're going to go to somebody else, and that person's going to grab them.
I think, Matt and Pete, what the big problem is, God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. We really need to be better listeners than speakers. We really need to know what that consumer wants so then we can supply the benefits. So in real estate, when people say, he could sell the Brooklyn Bridge, it's really not the case.
Right.
It's a matter of listening to what they want and then delivering that product to them.
So moving forward in future episodes, what do you hope to accomplish with the New Jersey Real Estate Show, and what can listeners expect to hear? Because this isn't a show just for new home buyers. It's not just for sellers. It's also not just for realtors. Who's it for?
It's pretty much for everyone. We want to try to make it entertaining. We want to make it informative. That's why we have different guests on different episodes. And we want people to be informed about the entire process. And again, not only for first-time home buyers, because real estate's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. Rules and regulations are changing.
Right.
I think the contract now is like 18, 19 pages. When I first came into business, maybe it was 3 or 4. So it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
We want to keep people informed because the more informed the consumer is, the better decision they make for themselves and their family.
So, and this isn't, we're doing this out of Wayne, New Jersey, which is up north, but this is designed for anybody in the state from, all the way up north down to, from High Point down to Cape May.
That's correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because it's all the same.
It's all
The only
the
thing that's
same.
different is local.
New Jersey, we're one big family.
Yeah, well, we are.
We're one big family.
Yeah.
And when things get tough, the tough get going.
That's right. Piney's welcome.
That's it.
All right. Well, so I think we gave everybody a good idea of who you are and what they're going to hear from us coming up in the next many months together. And we hope you enjoyed getting to know Tim. And we hope you'll stick around and listen more. Do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, Matt and Peter, first of all, I want to thank you very much. You guys are real gentlemen and real professionals.
Oh,
and
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to associate yourself with people such as yourselves. But
Very kind of you. Likewise.
next
Tim.
week, make sure you tune in because we are going to discuss the home buying and selling process as it's seen through the eyes of an attorney. Our in-house guest will be Matt Petriello from the law offices of Joseph C. Petriello, and he's located right here in Wayne, New Jersey. So make sure you tune in. Everyone have a wonderful day, and we appreciate your listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you an expert in your field?
Do you want your voice to be heard?
Maybe you have a great idea for a show, but just don't know how to do it.
Well, we can make it happen.
Email the New Jersey Podcast Guys at njpodcastguys@gmail.com.